YouTube, welcome back to another video. Jonathan here, joined by Sam, Ben, and Brandon, doing Banter Broadcast NFL Mock Draft 2.0. Make sure to check out our 1.0. So make sure you guys enjoy. We're going to do this one a little different than we did the first one. We're going to do a speed round. Hope you guys enjoy. Let's take it away. Sam, you're selecting number 1 overall for the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Oh, geez. Oh, my. That's such a tough pick. Yeah, I'm going with Trevor Lawrence. I think that's the only one that's a no-brainer in this entire draft. Great draft class, but this is the number one option for sure.
Awesome. Ben, you're selecting for the New York Jets with the second overall selection.
To change it up, I kind of want to make it a little spicy. Instead of going with Zach Wilson, I'm going to go with who I believe is the second best quarterback in this draft. And I'm going to go with Justin Fields.
Justin Fields, second overall. All right, we're living in fantasy land, but in this fantasy land, I guess I'm Ben's on the clock with the third overall selection with San Francisco 49ers. Do you still take Mac Jones, or are you taking Zach Wilson now that he's available?
Well, I mean, now that he's available, I'd probably take Zach Wilson. However, Brand's lying because he said that Trey Lance was better than Justin Fields in our argument. So I don't know what you're talking about.
Semantics.
Mind game. All right, go ahead with your selection, Ben.
No, I'm taking Zach Wilson since he's still on the board.
Okay. So Zach Wilson's off the board. And with my selection, fourth overall, I'm going to be taking the tight end out of Florida, Kyle Pitts, the do-it-all Swiss Army knife, the wide receiver with the tight ends build. This man is going to be the next best thing in the NFL.
Yeah, by the way, if you guys want really in-depth coverage, we're actually going to be posting a part 2 of this mock draft 2.0. So stay tuned for that, where we go really in-depth on all of the picks, give our favorites, give our grades. But this is just the draft itself. Now, speaking of which, it is my turn for the Cincinnati Bengals. I'm protecting Joe Burrow. I'm getting the top O lineman in the.
All right. Great selection. Brandon, you are on the clock for not your Miami Dolphins, but the Miami Dolphins.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's no surprise that Miami needs a playmaker in this draft. So I think it's an obvious pick here that I'm going to be taking Jamar Chase. Shocker, I know.
Jamar Chase, best wide receiver prospect we've seen in a long time. Not surprising that Miami goes with a wide receiver to get their young quarterback some help. But with the 7th overall selection, Ben is probably going to be taking another wide receiver. Let us know who you got, Ben.
Well, it's not going to be Devonta Smith because I actually had this guy above Devonta Smith in my power ranking. It's Jalen Waddle. It's basically, if you want a Tyreek Hill 2.0, this is the guy. Short, quick, and he was playing better before he got injured. He's playing better than Devonta Smith before he got injured. So,
Ben stays just following Miami Dolphins news and liking his players based on what the Dolphins say, because I think today a report came out that they like Waddle over Smith.
I mean, I've argued this for like weeks before.
Okay.
True. All right, let's keep going.
All right. With that being said, Ben, input your selection, and I'm selecting 8th overall for the Carolina Panthers, who have Sam Darnold on their team. Mac Jones is still on the board in this strange world. I don't need him. I'm taking the man, the myth, the legend, Devontae Smith to the Carolina Panthers.
Yeah, easy selection there. All right, so I'm drafting for the Broncos, and I did not think that a top 3 quarterback would be available at the number 9 pick, but I'm going Mac Jones. That's a no-brainer right here.
Interesting. Now, Brandon selecting for the Dallas Cowboys. 10th overall.
Yeah, I think this one's also a no-brainer. I think even his dad has come out and said that he wants him in Dallas. I'm going to go with Patrick Surtain the second. Need help defensively.
Great selection. Great selection. And in every mock draft that we've done so far and in our individual ones, we've had him going to Dallas. It kind of seems like a match made in heaven. They need the defense. It's a good selection. Let's move on to a New York team and Ben selecting for them.
Well, I lucked out because I think arguably the best defensive player in the draft is still on the board, and that's Micah Parsons. They're going to need some help on the as a linebacking core, and if you're going to want one of the better players, I think Micah Parsons is it.
Great selection. for some reason, Philadelphia's team needs here. Whoever did it on the last one just wrote offensive line, but they
It's
could
everything.
they really need everything here. With that being said, I'm gonna go Caleb Farley to help out on the defensive end. I know there's a lot of questions and concerns. I don't want a QB competition with Trey Lance and all that. So I'm just gonna go with Caleb Farley, a player that people look very highly upon on this draft.
All right, and now on my end here, I'm kind of stuck between two equally good players, kind of in my opinion, both play the same position at O line, but I'm gonna eventually decide on Rashawn Slater for the Chargers. Just protect the quarterback at all costs.
Very,
Okay,
very good
okay.
selection. And with the wide receivers really off the board, the top tier ones, other than Rondell Moore, you probably will see them going protect Herbert at all costs. So good selection. Brandon, you're on the board for the Minnesota Vikings, who are a pretty big wild card in this draft. So I'm really interested to see what you got going here.
And it's gonna get wild with me. I can go edge rusher. I can go linebacker. I think those two are the main needs.
Don't do it.
Or even Darisaw. I'm going with Trey Lance.
All
I'm
right.
going Trey Lance. Kirk Cousins got to go.
Ben's plans are ruined with the New England Patriots selection at 15th overall. But Ben, let's hear what you got 15th.
This might be a reach, but I don't think you're gonna need a corner. It doesn't seem like, or he is going to leave, but it doesn't seem like he's going to leave all that much. And I would not like to overdraft for a guy like JC Horn. I do actually like JC Horn. I'm gonna go with the guy that Brandon has been hyping up since I don't know when. Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah out of Notre Dame will definitely come in and boost that linebacking core.
Wow. Great selection. I'm going to be selecting for the Arizona Cardinals, who are currently my favorite to win the Super Bowl. Okay. Now, there's a lot of questions with this team, but there's one thing that's for sure. You protect Kyler Murray. Although the offensive line is really good, they could use some help. The defense got surged. That's why I am taking Elijah Vera Tucker with the selection over Christian Darisaw.
Interesting pick here. Interesting pick. So that kind of makes my decision easy. Because I got Christian Darisaw there on the board. This is a run-heavy team. You want to make Josh Jacobs as easy, like his job as easy as possible. So I'm gonna take Christian Darisaw here.
Good selection. Good selection. Now we're moving on to Brandon selecting for the Miami Dolphins.
Yeah, and for the Dolphins, I have them taking. I think probably the best edge rusher in this draft. I'm going with Kwity Paye.
Very good selection. They could use the defensive help with your selection, Jamar Chase, surging that offense up early already. Ben, you're selecting for the Washington football team, who could make some noise this year for a playoff run. Take us into what you're thinking here.
Yeah, thankfully no one took my pick before me. I'd just like to make. I'm thankful that this was a lot easier. I'm taking protect the quarterback at all costs. Yes, he is kind of a stopgap in Ryan Fitzpatrick, but he's still a very good quarterback. I'm going Tevin Jenkins for O-line help.
Very, very good selection. This guy's
outside of
flying
that
up the
weird-
draft boards.
Outside of the weird quarterback mix up there at the beginning, this is very realistic. We're not doing anything like too crazy.
Yeah, so with my selection for Chicago, I'm going to go Rondale Moore, wide receiver. This team needs that number two behind A-Rob, and this guy could bring it. So I'm excited to see this new Andy Dalton-led offense with Rondale Moore and A-Rob.
Nice pick there. I'm kind of surprised. Let me just make sure. I need to double check that this guy's actually still on the board. Yeah, apparently he is. This defense is nice, but let's make it a little bit nicer. I'm gonna go JC Horn.
JC Horn's a great player. And if Rondale Moore was still available for the Indianapolis Colts, that's a potential pick there as well. This guy's a really good player, definitely first rounder. But let's throw it over to Brandon selecting for the Tennessee Titans, who are famous for running the ball.
Yeah, I either want to go with Jalen Phillips here, but I'm gonna take a wide receiver because They need that at the moment. I'm gonna go with Rashad Bateman.
Ooh, very, very interesting selection. Uh, this guy's also flying up the draft boards recently. Um, wow, that kind of blew this out of the water. Ben selecting for the New York Jets. Take it away.
JC Horn was my pick, but I'm going to go with a linebacker. I know the Jets need everything, and to get a guy like Xavier Collins this far down, I know that he's been kind of in and out, but he's been one of the better defensive guys coming out of this draft, and one of the more understated guys coming out of this draft.
Awesome, awesome. I'm gonna go ahead and select for my Pittsburgh Steelers, Najee Harris. This guy is the best running back in the draft, and with them losing James Conner to the Arizona Cardinals, it is an extremely large hole that they need to fill, and they will do it with the best prospect in the draft.
All right. So you get Trevor Lawrence, you already win the draft, but the Jags now get another pick here. And Saxonville is no more, but let's try to return to glory with a decent linebacker here with Azeez Ojulari.
That's a good selection. Jacksonville definitely turning the corner with your selections. So we'll see how well they can perform this season if they do go this route. But Brandon, you're selecting for the Cleveland Browns, one of the most overperforming teams last year and one of the most promising after signing Jadeveon Clowney this offseason. So tell me, what are you thinking for this team?
Yeah, I was gonna take Aziz, but then I remembered they did sign Jadavion and they have Miles Garrett, so they don't need any more edge rushers or linebackers or defensive help. Instead, it makes my life a little bit easier. I'm gonna go with Trevin Morang for a safety position.
Very, very big hole that they needed to fill right there. Way to go for team need, and rather than taking the best available player, you go with the guy that they need. Great selection. Ben selecting for the team I hate the most in the NFL, the Baltimore Ravens.
Well, the Baltimore Ravens have basically one more key to success. One of the main keys to success for them would be to surround Lamar Jackson with help. Yes, they're not in the best position to get one of the best playmakers. However, Kadarius Toney is still out there, and to me, he's still very.
Come on, man. That was my selection for New Orleans, man. What am I gonna do now? Reach for Rashad Bateman? All right. Good selection, good selection. But I'm gonna go with an interesting pick here. I'm gonna draft some defensive help. Jalen Phillips. Give me that guy. Give me that bad man. He's gonna wreck the league. So yeah, New Orleans go defense, trusting that their offense is already strong enough. Shout out to Slant King.
All right. Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers. Aaron Rodgers can make even the worst wide receiver look incredible, but I got a pretty decent one here left on the board, and that's Rashad Bateman.
No, I picked that. I forgot to.
Oh, you forgot to highlight it?
Yeah, my bad.
Oh, come on.
Come on. That just ruined the whole draft. No, I'm kidding. All right. Well, in that case, there's not really any great wide receivers left to reach for. So then I'm going to go the opposite direction, and I'm going to go the defensive player and Trevon Moehrig.
Took him too.
Brandon, come on, take the highlights, bro. All right, Sam, third time's the charm. Let's see.
Jeez, come on. How many guys is Brandon not gonna highlight? I'm just looking at like the availability. All right. Shoot.
It's draft day. Anything can happen.
Yeah, I guess you're not wrong. Is Aaron Jones still on that team?
Yes, he is.
Oh, okay. So I don't need another running back to crowd that. All right, then I'm gonna go with Christian Barmore.
Wow, really, really good pick. This guy's gonna tear up the league. No questions about it. No questions about it. Brandon, the Buffalo Bills are on the clock, and you're on the phone. Who you?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to reach for a corner here, which is gonna be a little disappointing.
By the way, Brandon, I highlighted Christian Barmore just to help you out.
Thank you. I'm gonna have to reach a little bit for a corner here, but I think he's the best available. And I was gonna take Barrymore for Buffalo, but I'm gonna go with Asante Samuel Jr.
Great selection. You can't go wrong with the man whose father tore up the NFL and grew up idolizing and watching the NFL his entire life.
Plus, fantastic last name. Just throwing that out there.
Okay. All right. Never mind. Ben, shut up already and draft for the Ravens. I don't know what you're doing, getting them twice.
All right. Well, I got the Ravens again, and it's the man that I'm trying to make the connection with because they both went to the U is escaping my mind right now because they're going so fast. But I'm going with Gregory Rousseau. I think if you get him some mentorship there, he's going to be an explosive edge rusher.
That's a pick for sure. For sure. And with that being said, I round out the first round. Dun-dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun-dun-dun.
Copyright strikes for us. Yep. Okay.
Jalen Mayfield, offensive lineman for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Get some help. Protect old Tom at all costs. Uh, you can't go wrong with selecting an O lineman with the last overall selection in the draft.
Especially when you're a Super Bowl champ and you don't even need to make this pick.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. All right. And that is going to round out our second mock draft. Before the draft, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Make sure to smash that like button. Consider subscribing if you are listening on Spotify. We are a podcast as well, rather than a YouTube channel. So make sure to check us out there. Please leave a rating if you did enjoy. Consider subscribing so you get more notifications when our episodes do go live. We took a little bit of a break to decompress and come back, give you guys the content machine that we want to be. Thank you so much for tuning in. We will be giving you guys draft coverage throughout, before, during, after, you name it. We got it. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We'll see you next time.